on the Fairy Tale Network, Real Talk with Fairy Tale Legends. Where the talk is real, the people are fictional, and the stories are, well, that's for you to decide. Now, welcome to the stage, your very own Fairy Tale players, everyone. Thank you, guys. And now, your host, who needs no introduction, introducing the one and the only, Hank Purbley.
Thank you so much. You're in for an extra specialty today as we explore the tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. As always, our band of fairy tale players will provide live reenactments of today's tale, while I get the dirt directly from the source. And our guests today are none other than the Seven Dwarves themselves. That's right, they are in no particular order: Rowdy, Howdy, Wordy, Nerdy, Weepy, Sneaky, and Bob. But I must warn you up front, each of these dwarves tell the story a little differently. One is a bit poetic, while another's a bit country, another's a bit rock and roll, and so it goes for the rest of them. But I just know you're gonna love them. So now, here to tell our tale, please help me welcome our first guest. This first dwarf is a self-professed poet and lover of literature. Please give it up for Wordy! Welcome to the show and thank you for joining us.
No, I praise you all your thanks to me, for I should be thanking you.
So, you're a poet, are you?
You speak the truth, for without poetry I am neither wit, nor words, nor word. Action, no utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood.
Okay then, so tell us, how does the story begin?
'Twas deep upon a midwinter's eve when thus our story beginneth, for noble queen was with child.
Oh my gracious, what pain is this that tortures my bones? A chair, my kingdom for a chair.
And the queen took her place at the window to sew while watching the softly falling snow.
Hark, how soft and gentle the snowflakes doth fall upon the windowsill.
No, you're telling me wrong, dude.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our next guest, Rowdy! Thank you, Rowdy. Now tell us, how is Wordy's version of the story wrong?
The snowman, it was midwinter. This wasn't some peaceful, sleepy snowfall. No, it was crazy. It was epic. We're talking major apocalyptic snowage, dude.
Whoa, would you look at all that snow out there? I haven't seen so much snow in like all of forever. It's like a total snow apocalypse.
Now we're talking.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's because you heard it from me, Rowdy, the dwarf who rocked. Whoa!
As I was saying, the queen sat at the window to sew, pondering what name should be given to her unborn child. The child she just knew would grow up to be the next queen and the fairest beauty in all the land.
Miley, Madonna, Beyonce?
I mean, that's kind of epic for me, but come on, you gotta think of some poetic names for this guy.
Hippolyta, Bianca, Juliet?
Thank you.
Oh, what's in a name that which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet?
And as the queen thought, she looked up from the sewing and out the window at the softly falling snow. And as she looked up from the sewing, she pricked her finger upon her needle.
Oh my!
And there was blood everywhere.
Oh my! Help! Someone! Anyone, please help me!
No. 'Twas but a single drop of woman's blood that fell upon the snow.
Oh my!
And as the queen looked upon the dark red drop of blood, juxtaposed against the pure white snow, she at last knew what her unborn child's name would be.
Snow White!
Oh, lovely, simply lovely. But I'm told we made it up short on time today. Sorry, no pun intended. So we must be moving along. Joining us now is a very intelligent matter-of-fact dwarf who tells it like it is. Please welcome to the stage, Nerdy!
That's me, utterly and unequivocally boring.
Excuse me?
Come on, admit it, you're the boring one. You focus on the actual facts too much. Not everything can be like a reality TV show or documentary, you know. So what if I happen to prefer reality
reality over fiction. It's like he said, I just tell it exactly like it is, as it happened. Nothing but the facts here.
Hey, I'm the romantic, passionate, and sometimes dramatic, weepy! Are you okay?
No!
I'm sorry, but when I ask is the matter?
Oh, I know. He hates these part of the story.
For he is blessed with a heart 2 sizes too big. Weepy is so full of heart that he weeps at the slightest wrongs and leaps at the simplest joys.
I see. So tell us, why do you hate this part of the story so much?
It's just so sad. Snow White was finally born, but her mother tragically died in childbirth. I know, right? There was Snow White's father. He was so happy at the birth of his child, and yet at the same time, he was grieved beyond the worst of all griefs because the love of his life had died in childbirth. There he was, torn between sheer joy and utter sadness. Joy. And sadness. And Snow White would have to go without her mother. The mother she would have loved dearly and did love dearly for all of her life, even though she never even knew her. And they were both so sad.
But then the king remarried.
Go on. But he married the foulest, most awfulest, most wickedest woman that ever walked the earth.
Really? I just died.
And little Snow White, who's just the fairest and kindest soul, will have to grow up with this vile woman as her stepmother. Oh, it was all just so sad.
However, it wasn't all that sad.
Uh-oh, here we go.
As a matter of fact, it wasn't so sad at all.
How so? What made Snow White's upbringing less tragic?
I know. She grew up to be beautiful.
That's right.
She was beautiful, ever so beautiful, as beautiful as a shooting star blazing bright across the midnight sky.
Okay,
as
so-
as the rainbow that beams upon the horizon after an afternoon rainstorm.
All right,
So
so
as a newborn sun that melts in cold frost on the first day of spring. As beautiful as
okay, so she was beautiful. Go on. What was that like?
What was it like? Not much at first. It was more about what it became, I guess.
You mean like a rivalry was born?
Yes, a rivalry, exactly. Oh, what a rivalry it was indeed.
So what was that like? Can you tell us?
That's a very good question, very good. But if I were pressed, I guess I would say it was very much like a beauty pageant.
And here they are, your finalists for Miss Fairest of them all, Snow White and the diabolically evil Wicked Queen. And don't you forget it! And in this final round, we'll be asking both of our lovely finalists the same single question, each of them having 10 seconds to respond. Snow White will begin with you. You are clearly very beautiful. Beautiful beyond words even. I mean, so fair and so kind. I can't even really think of anyone else. So Snow White, your question. If you could give up your beauty for one thing, anything at all, what would that thing be?
That's easy. If I could give up my beauty in exchange for anything, I'd trade it for world peace.
All right, now it's my turn. What's my question? Well, Evil Queen, as I mentioned, you'll both be asked the same single question. So, if you could give up your beauty for one thing, anything at all, what would that thing be?
My beauty?
Sure. You could even call it that.
What would I give it up for?
Yes, one thing, anything at all. What's more important to you than beauty?
I don't know.
5 seconds.
But that's an impossible question. What's more important than beauty?
2 seconds.
I would give it up for
And time.
ultimate power!
I'm sorry, Evil Queen, but your time already expired. Now, while we wait for the judges to tally our scores. Oh, our scores have already been tallied. Boy, that was quick. Now to announce the winner of Miss Fairest of them all. Please welcome the Magic Mirror. Without further ado, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Snow White is the fairest by far.
beauty that she refused to let anyone steal her crown.
So what happened next?
Oh, you just had to get where to the next part. She tells this part of the story so well.
Very well. This next dwarf is a bit of a mystery. She chooses to remain anonymous, so at her request we've concealed her identity. Please welcome Sneaky to the stage. So, we've just learned that Snow White is the fairest of them all. What happens next?
Well, the night was just like almost any other night when evil is afoot. What I mean to say is, it was a dark and stormy night.
No, that's not enough. Weren't you listening? It was dark and stormy.
Blow wind and crack your cheeks, rage blow, you cataracts and hurricane spout, till you have drenched our steeples, drowned the people, cracked nature's mold. All lies spill at once, that make an ungrateful man.
Yeah, what he said, dude. As I was saying, it was a dark and stormy night, and the evil queen had murderous plans. How dare she? What right has she to win my crown and steal my thunder? No one is fairer than I. No one. And as for her trespasses upon my claim as the fairest in the land, that little wretch shall pay. Oh yes, she shall pay dearly. And so, the evil queen hatched an evil plot and called upon the skill of the most skilled assassin in all of the kingdom. Come hither, hunter!
Yes, my queen, and the name is not Hunter. It's Huntsman. James Huntsman.
The huntsman was famous and feared throughout the kingdom for his very particular set of skills. Skills he had acquired over a very long career. Skills that made him a nightmare to enemies of the kingdom. The queen knew that when it came to offing her enemies, there was no one better. So she called for the huntsman and welcomed him into the family, so to speak. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
What does Her Highness desire?
I have need of your services. I need you to bring me the heart of a foul creature.
That I can do. There's neither a man nor monster in the forest that can escape me.
So I'm told. Are you loyal to me, huntsman? Will you bring me the creature's heart upon my request?
I will. I'll give you my solemn vow. Name the creature, and I will bring you his heart, my queen.
Snow White.
The princess?
The princess.
But
Do you protest?
No, my queen. I would never, but the princess...
Yes, the princess. You just gave me your vow, huntsman, promising to bring me her heart. Now surely, huntsman, you, of all my servants, are smart enough to know the consequences of rescinding a vow given to the queen.
Yes, my queen. I will do as I promised.
So the huntsman had no choice?
That's right. The queen tricked him into a vow he didn't realize he was making.
And one that he didn't have the heart to carry out.
Interesting. I want to hear more about that. But we must take a short break to hear one of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll hear more from Warty, Nerdy, Weepy, Sneaky, and Rowdy, as well as welcome our two final dwarves to tell their side of the story. More to come after these brief messages.
Sunday. Blow up prices on new and used carriages. This Sunday only at Cinderella's Automotive Magical Sales Extravaganza.
This Sunday only, get this late model town and country style carriage. Sale price only 60 gold coins.
Hurry!
Hurry on in for one of our turn of the century models with 2, 4, all the way up to 6 horsepower, starting at only 80 gold coins.
Don't wait, these magical prices won't last long.
That's right, these prices won't last long. In fact, the magic disappears precisely at the stroke of midnight. So hurry on over to our magical sales extravaganza only at Cinderella's Automotive, where we make your new and used carriage dreams come true.
Welcome back to Real Talk of Fairy Tale Legends. Joining us now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, there are so many of you. Which one is he again?
Wait for it!
Knock, knock. There it is. I knew it, dude. This one never misses a chance to tell a knock, knock joke.
Who's there?
Bob.
Ah, that's it. Guess I should have known you weren't. Howdy.
No. You're supposed to say.
Oh, I get it. Bob who?
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
You're Bob, the goofy one, right?
I know you are, but what am I?
Please, enough of this silliness. Are you or are you not Bob?
To be or not to be?
Very well. Bob it is.
Yeah, and Bob's your uncle.
So, Bob, the Princess Snow White and the Huntsman, when we last left our story, he was just about to kill her, wasn't he?
Kill her? Nah. He didn't even know her. And what's more, he could barely even get her out the castle. Look, your thought all went down. Uh-oh, here we go. So, I just flew in from New York, you know. And my arms are tired. Anyway, so I'm standing there waiting for this cab, and sees Princess talking to his huntsman. And he says to her,
Yo, darling, wanna go for a walk with me?
"Sure, where are we going?"
Under there.
"Where?"
Under there.
"What?"
Under there.
"Underwear." Get it?
What? I don't get it. Well, yes, I know that. I've got that much, but where is he taking her?
Under there.
Underwear.
No. You heard me tell the story once, and that is more than that. He wanted to take her into the dark and mysterious forest.
Come along, before it's too late.
But the princess remained cautious. After all, she'd seen enough monster movies and horror flicks to know that going into the deep and mysterious forest was a very bad idea.
But I can't. I mean, I really shouldn't. After all, it's so dark and spooky and mysterious, and such awful things can happen in there. Have you seen any scary movies lately?
No, I'm too busy hunting.
You haven't seen The Big Bad Wolfman?
No,
What about Once Upon a Nightmare on Elm Street?
no,
The Texas Gingerbread Massacre?
no,
Not even The Bride of Purple Stillskin story?
no. Look, I go into the woods all the time.
Still, the huntsman wasn't saying much to ease the princess's fears.
But who knows what could be lurking out there? It could be lions and tigers and bears. Hold on. I know. Full of dangerous beasts.
But finally, the brave huntsman realized what he had to do, and he swept in and spoke to her genuinely, like a true hero, a man with sensitivity.
Look, I know you're scared. There are many beasts out there, and many that should be here. But you don't need to worry. You'll deal with me. Anything out there, I can handle. Trust me, princess. I'll keep you safe.
It was just what she needed to hear to calm her fears and win her trust.
So he convinced Snow White to go with him?
Yes, he did. But too bad he was leading her to her death. Oh, it was all just so sad.
Oh my, it looks like we're gonna need some time to compose ourselves here. So, while we do that, let's bring on our final guest. This next dwarf is the 7th and final dwarf. Please welcome to the stage the dwarf who's more than just a big country. Howdy! Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, sir. Thank you kindly.
So, Weepy was just telling us the huntsman was leading Snow White away to her death.
Now wait, storm out there, Ogre. You ain't heard my part in this tale. So don't go making any gumptions just yet.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you mean by that.
What I mean is she ain't done for just yet. But you're right about one thing. That there hunter was heading off into the wild beyond with Snow White. But it weren't for no death sentence at all. No, it's my two good-natured cowfolk out for a whole pond of roast. For the first time in her life, Miss Snow White was free from the trap of that terrible stepmother bird.
Oh, howdy. I tell you what, Huntsman, my life ain't never felt so free and easy as it does right now.
I tried telling you, there ain't nothing to fear on these here woods.
That's not what I meant. I mean, you're right. Maybe I wasn't scared at first, but that's only because I've never been out here in the forest before.
And that there huntsman was just playing a shot here that she ran out in the woods before.
No, wait, just a don't remember. You mean to tell me you ain't never been in the woods?
Even worse, I ain't never been out of the castle.
No.
Sure enough, well, I've been cooped up in there with that awful set in my mind ever since I can even remember. And now, see what's like to be free of all that. I have half a mind to never go back.
Right. Now about that.
What is it? Well, what is it? You got something to say or don't you?
Well, you see, I'm not supposed to let you.
You can't let me go back? Well, why in nation can't you?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I'm under orders, you see.
Whose orders?
By your dad and stepmom, of course.
I see. So, are you gonna off me again?
Supposed to.
Supposed to? Well, are you or ain't you?
Supposed to, but I ain't gonna off yet. I just couldn't. I just don't know how I'm gonna get out of this pickle.
You mean you and
I show up back to that castle with nothing to show for you, then I'm in a heap of trouble.
So how do they know you've done your job?
I gotta bring your heart to the queen.
My heart? That's downright gruesome.
It is.
Say you brought back the heart of something else. My stepmom don't know even how many monkeys uncle. You're a huntsman, aren't you? Go out there and hunt down any creature you want. Bring back that heart.
By golly, that's perfect. Why didn't I think of that? I can just go out there and fill a great feast and tell the queen with you. But what about you? You can come back with me. What will you do out here on your own?
Well, I suppose I make it some way or another.
Oh man, can't you leave you out here to fend for yourself? Wouldn't be right.
No, you go on. Don't worry about me.
No, I insist. I ain't leaving you here alone, princess.
Sounds like they didn't have a choice.
Oh, they weren't a fix, that's for sure. But they weren't out of options just yet. No, just because Snow White was the fairest small don't mean she was just some pretty thing. No, she had more metal in her than you might realize.
Look, you go on. Don't worry about me. I can handle it. You just give me some tips about how to face this wall beyond on my own, and I know I can handle whatever comes my way. You can count on that.
You're certain about it?
I can guarantee doggone to you.
And so, the huntsman shared all his knowledge of that there forest and all the trials and tribulations the princess might have to face in it.
He told her about the terrible beasts that lurk in the forest. The big bad wolves.
Roar!
The terrible trolls. The wicked witches.
He gave her his bow and showed her how to shoot it. And he gave her his hunting knife and showed her how to use it. And he got her some logs and showed her how to make a fire.
And he showed her how to be brave and fearless in the face of the unknown.
And he taught her how to tell a killer not joke to free yourself from danger.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Quick,
Quick who?
quick, look over there.
And thus, having taught Snow White all that it could, the huntsman and princess parted ways.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my princess.
Parting is such a sweet sorrow.
Oh, bravo! Bravo! Give it up for our fairy tale legends, everybody! It's time for another break. But when we come back, Snow White will be all alone in the dark and mysterious forest. Will she make it out alive? Or will the treacherous beasts find her first? Find out after another word from our sponsors.
Somebody ate my porridge.
Somebody ate my porridge.
Somebody ate my porridge and it's all gone.
Somebody sat in my chair.
Somebody sat in my chair.
Someone sat in my chair and it's broken to pieces. Have you or you been victimized, injured on the job, or otherwise caused by the cruel acts of others? My name's Little Red Riding Hood of the law firm, Granny Medicine Hood, and we're on your side. We're here to get you the compensation you need for all your unhappily ever actors.
While apprenticing the kingdom, I break my finger on the job and fell into 100 years slumber. Luckily, the law firm Granny Medicine Hood got me my compensation I need for my last time on the job. When me and my sister were nearly eaten by an awful witch, Granny Medicine Hood were there to save the day.
They got us a settlement so big, now we can buy a gingerbread house of our very own.
I got tired of everybody calling me an ugly duckling, so I went to Granny Medicine Hood for help. They filed a defamation lawsuit on my behalf and made sure that everyone who slandered my name got what they deserved.
If you've been wronged, Granny Medicine Hood will work for you. But now this settlement is just right.
Granny Madison Hood. Go get your cash whether you deserve it or not.
Welcome back! Now, when we last left our tale, the huntsman returned to the castle, leaving Snow White all alone.
Yes, she was all on her own, with no one to protect her in the dark and mysterious forest.
Oh, wait, you're forgetting my favorite part of our story, one of the most awesomest parts of our tale, the huntsman's part.
The part when he's all heroic.
He went full on more action hero mode, dude. evil queen. So he searched far and wide until he came upon a great stag.
No, it wasn't a stag.
How would you know?
Because the huntsman will have to slay a great beast and not a old stag.
But it could have been any beast.
But it wasn't just any old beast. It was a great beast. That's the way I heard it right from Snow White's lips.
Rowdy is right. It was a great beast. So there the huntsman is, all alone in the dark and mysterious forest. When along comes a boogeyman. It was like a nightmare.
No, it wasn't a boogeyman either. I'm telling you, the huntsman will have to slay a great beast.
You mean like a screaming banshee?
Perhaps it was a mythical creature like a cyclops.
No, that's too poetic. Make up your mind.
Really, dude.
I thought that you of all the dwarves might be into epic poetry.
I like epic, but not poetry. And it wasn't a cyclops. I know, it was a giant T-Rex. A T-Rex with tiny arms. A T-Rex with tiny arms and angry because he couldn't scratch his chin. No, that's too silly.
What was it then?
The great beast was none other than the great and powerful
Sasquatch! Ooh, Sasquatch. Now there's a mysterious monster story I could give in mind.
No, it wasn't a Sasquatch either.
The Jersey Devil.
No.
El Chupacabra.
No.
Nessie.
Dude, Nessie, really, get with the program, people. This great beast was much worse than T-Rex, El Chupacabra, and Nessie. All those combined. This great beast was none other than the great and legendary Swamp Ogre!
Okay, so what happened next?
Naturally, the huntsman being brave and strong and awesome challenged the great beast.
Many experts agree, Hank, this was the fight of the century.
And in this corner, the featherweight champion of the world, Huntsman! And in this corner, his opponent, the monsterweight champion of the world, the ferocious Swamp Ogre! Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! And they fought for what seemed like days. This was a battle for the ages. This was Tyson versus Holyfield. This was Pat versus Ramel. This was Yankees versus Red Sox. This was Sherlock versus Moriarty.
Get off me land.
This for my land, wherever your land, you yeller-bellied coward.
Grant versus Robert E. Lee.
I propose to fight out on this line if it takes all summer.
Versus McDuff.
He hast thou in thy head when thou wast born to signify thou camest to bite the world.
Ay, but thy food hath been belched by infected lungs.
Juggalos, you canker blossom.
Away, you moldy rogue, away!
I shall left myself the death of this puppy-headed monster.
Then surrender, you coward.
I will not. Lay on yourself.
Punch first, Judy!
Nothing. We're talking about for the ages. Finally, the huntsman gained the upper hand, taking control of the ogre with his sword. And knowing he couldn't let up such a great opponent, the huntsman pulled out all stops, taking control and winning against the big bad Swamp Ogre.
Then what happened?
Well, the huntsman having gained an advantage, did what huntsmen do best. He took the ogre by the
No, not in front of the kids. Come on.
Let's just say the huntsman fulfilled his pact with the queen and leave it at that.
Very well. So, Snow White, she's been all alone in the woods all this time?
The dark and mysterious woods.
Right, the dark and mysterious woods. So, how did y'all end up meeting her?
Well, it was simple, really. As Snow White wandered through the woods.
The dark and mysterious woods.
Right, as Snow White wandered through the dark and mysterious woods, eventually she came upon our cottage.
And what? That's how you met?
Not exactly. See, we weren't home at the time, so she, thinking the cottage was abandoned, let herself in.
Oh, yes. I think I've heard this one before. Now, stop me if I'm wrong, but I'm certain this is how I heard it told. She broke into your house, ate all of your food, broke all of your chairs, and slept in all of your beds. Then she woke to find 3 angry bears standing over her. And the bears chased her away.
Now that would have been classic. Exit pursued by a bear. Ha!
No, stop. That wasn't how it happened. You've got the wrong story. That's the one with the little blonde girl.
Oh, okay, maybe to admit they're eerily similar.
True, but Snow White didn't destroy our home like that other girl destroyed the home of the bears. No, she didn't destroy it. Instead, she took our little fixer-upper of a cottage and turned it into a modern and classy showcase piece.
Today on this old cottage, we document the restoration of a 14th century German cottage found abandoned and extremely disheveled. Snow White, what are some problems you found when moving into the place?
It's a wreck. The roof is doing something awful, so we're gonna have to replace it completely. The plumbing's nowhere near code, so we're gonna have to shut that out and start all over again. Besides that, loads of cosmetic issues, like the outdated flooring, rotten paint on the walls, and the extremely unflattering decor. But don't you worry, we'll have it fixed up in no time.
Oh, we know you will. Do you have any other improvements in mind on top of all of that?
I've got to restore the countertops. I'm thinking marble, maybe granite. After that, we'll show the lighting something more tiny and classical. If there's time, we'll tackle landscaping too.
All right, Snow White, well, we'll let you get back to sprucing up the place. In the meantime, back to you, Hank.
Okay, thank you. It seems we're getting off track a bit here. Now, you were getting us to the part where you all meet the princess? Which one of you can tell me about that?
Well, Hank, it went a little something like this. Snow White had been there for what seemed like days. Tidying, cleaning and tidying. It was only a few hours, of course, but who was really counting? When in walked the shortest pair of legs she had ever laid her eyes on. It was a dwarf, of course, and one of the most mysterious dwarves you'll ever meet. It was her! It was her! Yeah, it was me. What's it to you? And stop being so conspicuous. You might blow my cover. Seeing as she just broken into the joint, Snow White did what came naturally. She hid. I had a feeling I was being watched, so I cased the joint. Just as I was about to give up my hiding, Snow White came out of her hiding. Hello?
Whoa, where did you come from?
I was hiding under the table.
Well, who are you?
Who are you?
I asked you first.
But I'm your guest.
But I live here.
But I'm your princess.
Princess, yes, doesn't matter who you are. I don't give my name to just anyone, especially not to strangers.
No, you go. After all, it's the courteous thing to do.
In other words, we were getting nowhere. That's when there was a knock at the door.
Knock, knock.
Startled by the unexpected interruption of my interrogation, I turned and intervened.
Who's there?
Annie. I recognized the voice at once, sensing that someone at the door was attempting to crack a joke. I played along.
Anywho.
Anyone at home?
But I wasn't born yesterday. I was pretty certain it was just Bob fooling around again. And I refused to play the fool. Naturally, I kept my cool and went along to drill.
All right then, state your business.
We're here to see a guy about a horse.
I knew it was a joke, but I was all business.
Okay, well, what's the password?
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4?
It was the easiest password in the book. In fact, it was so easy that I never thought anybody ever would have actually used it.
All right, come on in.
But of course, it wasn't just Bob who was there at the door. It was all of us there. We all came in.
And that's when we all finally met the princess.
And what was your reaction to finding the princess there? After she had barged into your house and made herself a home?
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was like a dream come true.
I thought it was a bit of a joke, personally.
No, it was more like fate or destiny. It was kismet, you might say.
It was still a bit suspicious, if you ask me.
Nah, it weren't anything more than just a young gal looking for a place to stay is all it was.
And what about you? What was your reaction?
I'd say the same thing. It was all of those things, in my opinion.
Very interesting. Okay, so go on. What happened next?
Well, while we were getting to know the princess, meanwhile, the evil queen was back at her castle.
And she knew the huntsman up was vouching on her.
All along, the queen thought the huntsman's story to be true, but when she beckoned her magic mirror,
Come hither, mirror!
and once it came to her, she realized that the huntsman had not been entirely truthful with her, and thus went to the encounter.
What say, mirror?
What say you, my queen?
Tell me, are you beautiful, mirror?
You are fair, my queen.
But that was not enough to quell the queen's vanity, so she quickly recited,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
As it was when you last asked me, and it shall be until her untimely death. The Princess Snow White is undoubtedly and unquestionably the fairest of them all, my queen.
And from that moment on, the evil queen vowed to end Snow White's life. And she knew that if this most evil deed were to be done, it would have to be done by her own evil hands.
And what was her plan?
Simple. She'd just make a poisoned apple, of course.
Poison apple? And just how does one make a poison apple.
I'm glad you asked. It's really a very simple recipe, especially so in the hands of a capable chef.
Good evening, my pretties, and welcome to Evil Queen's Cuisine. Tonight, we'll be stirring up the handiest little gem for knocking off your arch enemy. It's an entree I like to call the apple of my die. Now, for today's recipe, we'll start with your everyday run-of-the-mill apple. And when we're done with it, it'll be the most deadly apple you've ever known. But before we begin, let me welcome my slovenly assistant, Igor. Thank you for joining us, Igor. Now, first we're our main ingredient. Igor, do you have the apple? Lovely. And did you bring the poison? Now, this is truly the simplest recipe of them all. All it takes is a little inspiration, ingenuity, and the tiniest dash of revenge, and you'll have for yourself the most deadly fruit you'd ever imagine. Now, as I was saying, today, for this recipe, we'll start with your everyday run-of-the-mill apple. But there's a tiny skosh of prep with that names in beforehand, and here's the secret to the magic. You see, the apple we'll be using for this recipe must be completely dehydrated beforehand. After all, if we want our little apple to be able to soak up every last ounce of liquid death, it must first be completely void of all moisture. For this next step, please help me welcome our special guest, the Big Bad Wolf. Now, as I was saying, the apple we'll be using for this recipe must be completely dehydrated. Wolfie, do your thing. And just like that, the least juiciest apple you ever did see. Thank you, Wolfie. Now, to make this recipe work, we'll need the proper tools, Igor, as well as the proper ingredients. Now, all it takes is a little bit of poison. Bottoms up. A dash of salt. Mix gently. Now we wait for 6 hours while our thirsty little apple does its magic. And voila! A poisoned apple that is certain to knock him dead at your next gathering. Care for a taste, Igor? Join us next time when we uncover the lost art of freshly baked gingerbread and the enticing effects of innocent children who are lost in the woods. Until next time, I'm Evil Stepmother. Igor, let's go.
Ooh, juicy. I love it. And just how they say in stories like this, the storyline has just become denser.
I think what you mean to say is the plot thickens.
Right. Anyways, it's time for another break. But when we come back, the evil queen pays Snowy a visit with a poison apple.
Will she eat it?
Or will she give that queen the karate chop smash she deserves?
I'm sure what everyone is wondering is how will the dear princess ever survive and live happily ever after?
Will she ride off into the sunset?
Or will the fates align against her?
Will her story be believable? Or better yet, hysterical?
All this and more when we come back.
Tired of those same old tired hair care products that never work? Has the hair club community completely let you down? Why fuss with all those other methods when you could have hair like this?
Hi, I'm Rapunzel. Now you may know me as the girl who has amazing hair, but just like any other girl, I have a few tricks up my sleeve to keep me looking this amazing.
Introducing Rapunzel's incredible hair extensions.
With just one simple click, got hair worthy of a princess.
Rapunzel's incredible hair extensions, and I can really let my hair down.
Hello,
1-800-WOW-HAIR, that's 1-800-WOW-HAIR. Also available at participating mall kiosks.
Wow, her hair is so beautiful. I want hair like that. I guess I'll be calling 1-800-WOW-HAIR. Buyers now.
Welcome back as we near the exciting conclusion of our tale. So, for those of you just tuning in, the evil queen has just made the poison apple.
That's right. Now she needs a disguise, otherwise Snow White wouldn't easily recognize her.
And since she was selling fruit, what better disguise than that than the famous Carmen Miranda?
Alas, no. Her masquerade is more convincing and classical.
That ain't no mask. This is the mask she would have worn.
Oh, no! Her mask would have been more romantic for sure. Here.
Help me make the music of the night.
Are you serious? That's ridiculous. Seriously, anyone would see through any of those costumes. But the evil queen needed was something unattractive about it. Something that wouldn't get enchanted. Something sympathetic and weak. She disguised herself as a feeble old merchant woman.
And the evil queen knocked on the door.
Knock, knock. There. Owls. Owls who? You can say that again.
Wait, there's more.
Very funny. Now seriously, who's out there?
Ivana.
Ivana who?
Ivana, come in. Open the door already.
You're not really Ivana, are you? Who's out there?
Orange. Orange who? Orange, you gonna let me in?
But this weren't no laughing matter. For that's when the old crone strolled in like she owned the place.
I'm looking for the person in charge.
And seeing as we dwarves are out working in the mines and left Snow White to look after the place.
That's me. I'm in charge. What's it to you?
Let's just say I got a score to settle.
That makes Snow White mighty nervous.
We don't want no trouble. Just what kind of score you reckon to settle?
An apple score.
An apple score?
Nah, an apple score.
That's what I said, ain't it?
Nah, it ain't. See, I got these apples for sale. This apple's this side of Mississippi. This apple's any old soul ever did see. You follow?
I follow.
And no one ain't never taken a liking to these old apples I sell.
They? Well, that's a darn shame. I ain't never had an apple I've taken liking to. Seems downright hard to believe anyone might turn down a good apple.
Sipping they have, ma'am, begging your pardon. But I mean to finally show them all the error of their ways, so to speak. I got there with me the finest, most succulentest apple there ever was. Just one taste and you'll agree.
Well, if it's apple tasting you want, it's apple tasting you'll get. Lay it on me, sister. Do your worst.
And so the queen took 3 paces, turned and stared the princess down.
Draw!
And couldn't manage to set their apple over Snow White.
Then what happened?
Well, Snow White proved to be just as quick on the draw as that there evil queen right there. She took a bite out of that apple cream and said, "Oh, Susanna."
Also!
Told you so.
What happened next?
The apple was poisoned, remember?
Right, so then what happened next?
Only the most awful and tragic thing you could possibly imagine. Snow White, our friend, our princess, our hero, the fairest of them all, died!
Right then and there.
You mean she died? As in, she was really dead?
Oh, yes. Snow White was certainly dead. When we returned I Must Bear, I thoroughly examined her. And Snow White was not only nearly dead, but
Tragically,
Dramatically, physically, non-jokingly, mysteriously,
darn-tootingly.
really most sincerely dead.
Oh my! I never realized what a tearjerker this story was before!
Oh, it is. It's just dreadful. But you must remember, the story isn't over yet. There's still hope.
So, you're certain she was, you know.
Without question, we saw it for ourselves. We laid out quite seasoned everything.
Oh.
Time of death? 900 hours, roughly. Cause of death? Apple. Apple? Sorry, strike that. Make it
poisoned apple. Oh, I see. Victim, the fairest of them all. And that is the princess. Her name, please, for the official record. Of course, it's Snow White. Oh no, it can't be. It's true. Oh no. Perpetrator? No. No suspects? Well, the evil stepmother is always a good lead, but there's no evidence that connects her to the crime. At this time, there are no clear suspects.
Who done it didn't really matter. For at that very moment, in France, the handsome prince.
Oh man, it was hilarious.
No, it was romantic.
Are you kidding me now? The prince was a total goofball.
Let them judge for themselves, I guess.
Good day, peasants.
Finally, Snow White's prince had come to the rescue.
I've come to rescue a princess in distress.
I'm afraid you're too late for that.
Too late? That's impossible. I always arrive just in time to save the day and conveniently make everything a happy ever after.
See? Goofball.
Still handsome and heroic, but the dwarves are right. It was too late. The dear princess was lost.
Sorry, Princey, but this isn't beyond saving. You're too late.
Nonsense. The princess is just sleeping. Perhaps a true love's kiss will break the curse. Kissing.
Even over my dead body.
But still, the valiant prince refused to give up.
Perhaps this glass slipper, which I found under the pub stairs, will awaken her. A perfect fit.
Prince became distraught. Nothing he could do would revive the fallen princess, but still, he never gave up hope.
Oh, wait, I know.
What?
I know just how to save the princess.
What do you mean?
The pea, of course. The princess must be sleeping upon a pea. Help me find it. Here it is, the pea. This is what was making the princess sleep so soundly.
I'm not so sure that's what it is. Yeah, me neither. What's that anyway?
The pea.
No, that's just a bit of folded up fluff. Like probably just this way. Or belly button anyway. Yes, keep that too.
Where on earth did that come from?
From underneath your mattress, maybe.
That's not what I meant. Now that I think about it, I know exactly where it came from.
Who cares where it came from? The bottom line is that against all odds, I have saved you from a cruel death, my love.
And so, the handsome and charming prince got down on one knee.
Thus, it seems our stars have aligned, bringing us together,
Pulled out his grandmother's engagement ring
bringing us together as a husband and wife.
and proposed.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Whoa. Excuse me?
Oh, and they all lived happily ever after.
No, sorry, that's not the end of our story.
Wait, what? Isn't that what it all ends?
No, sorry.
But you're the romantic dwarf.
Yeah, so?
You mean to tell me she didn't say yes?
Yeah. Why would she marry some random princess she's never met before? That's not romantic, that's creepy.
Yeah, real creepy. But he was a brilliant, and he was handsome and charming. I mean, didn't he sweep her off her feet and ride off into the sunset?
No, how is that romantic? They barely know one another.
Didn't she marry the prince?
No.
But what about true love? What about a happy ending? Oh, how can a story end without a wedding?
Oh, we'll get to that. This story has true love, a happy ending, and a wedding. Otherwise, why would I even care?
And what about the evil queen? Why would her and the kingdom Snow White left behind?
Oh, she'll take care of that part too, dude. Oh man, does she ever take care of that queen. Now we must tell the true ending to Snow White's story. One full of mystery, full of twists, full of secrets.
Yes, the way it really, truly happened.
Yes, we should, we shall, we must. For all the greatest poets seek truth through beauty. And isn't that what the tale of the most beautiful of them all is really all about?
Yeah, sure. All jokingly aside, we gotta tell how it really happened. Who we trying to fool anyway?
Yeah, let's tell it the way it really truly happened. After all, it's a pretty awesome
grandmother's engagement ring and proposed.
Please say, oh, marry me.
Excuse me?
Oh, come on. All this kneeling is hurting my knees. I'm not used to kneeling.
Put a sock in it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a surprise guest, the one, the only Princess Snow White.
It's Her Majesty or Queen Snow White now?
Right, Her Majesty the Queen, the real Snow White, everybody.
Who are you? What's the get up?
Oh, hi. This is nothing. I'm not a real princess. I just play one on TV. But I love your work. And what are you guys doing here?
We're telling your story.
Why?
Inquiring minds want to know?
I'll tell you why. Because it's romantic, funny, mysterious, poetic, folksy, and true.
And awesome! Don't forget awesome!
It is why it's the tale of the century.
Very well, but that's not what I meant. What I meant was, why are the 7 of you telling my story? Shouldn't I be the one telling
Ah,
it?
shucks. But we were having such a doggone good time telling.
Very well, you can have it, but as long as I get to have a say.
Oh, as you wish, Your Majesty, as you wish. Someone get the Queen a chair. Oh, unless you prefer a throne, that is, Your Majesty.
Oh, not at all. Any old chair will do.
Oh my, it's true. She really is the fairest of them all.
Of course she is.
Thank you. Now, what do I do?
Just tell your story, sister. But, no offense or anything, Your Highness, but if you could keep this brief, that'd be great. We're already over time.
Let's rush.
Surely you want the ending to be told properly?
No, seriously, we really have to hurry this up.
Well, Hank, there's still like a lot of story left to tell. But if you say we gotta tell it fast, we can tell it fast. Take it away, Princess.
Thank you. Now, where were we? So, once again, as I was saying, the handsome and charming prince got down on one knee, pulled out his grandmother's engagement ring, and proposed.
Just say yes already.
Oh, but I never had him. I mean, Snow White never had any intentions of marrying the prince. After all, she only just met him.
Yeah, ew, gross. Am I right? Am I right?
You. No, thank you. I mean, thank you for saving me and all. That was very kind, but I cannot marry you. After all, we only just met. I can't marry someone I just met.
Well, of course you can. This is a fairy tale.
And that's not my happy ending.
It simply wasn't true love.
I'm really sorry, but my heart belongs to another.
So Snow White hightailed it out of there.
Later.
What about me?
Take a hike!
Then I made my way directly to the castle to face the evil queen. But she couldn't just barge into the place. She had to go incognito.
Snow White fooled the guards and made her way to the castle, but she arrived there only to learn that her evil stepmother had imprisoned the huntsman.
That's right, he was to be put to death that very afternoon.
Oh my, did she save him?
We're running out of time, remember?
Oh, yes, continue.
I knew I just had to get in there and save him. So I knocked on the door.
You bet she did.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The bear.
Fair? We're not having a fair. Who's there, I say?
The bear.
That makes no sense. Seriously, who names their kid the fair? I'll ask you once more. Who's there?
The bear.
Fine, the fair who?
The bear stood them all.
There they was, just Snow White and that there evil queen right there.
So you still think you're the fairest of them all, do you?
But Snow White weren't afraid of nothing.
That's right, I do.
But you gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, princess?
You're darn right I do.
Snow White rushed the evil queen and they fought. Not that Snow White totally outsmarted the evil queen.
I swear it's first right.
Yes! Nothing beats the T-Rex maneuver, dude.
I was able to release the huntsman, but the queen called for her guards.
Guards! Intruder in the castle!
The guards rushed Snow White and the huntsman, and the two friends held off to attack the best that they could. And when it looked as though all hope was lost...
No, stay away from them! Get away from that mirror!
It is often written that time stops for no man. But in this chance encounter between fair princess and enchanted mirror, time slowed to near halt, as the reflecting glass brimmed upon its footing, teetering and tottering and teetering. The queen, with a nervous dread, swayed with it, to and fro and to. For the mirror was a symbol of the queen's great power, and as it slowly fell upon the cold earth, she knew that a kingdom fell with it.
No! And that's all it took to defeat the evil queen.
But it wasn't quite over yet.
What are you doing? Don't just stand there, get them! But the mirror was broken, you see. The guards had been cursed by the mirror the whole time. Once the mirror was broken, the curse was lifted.
And their true loyalties are made the true heirs to the throne.
What? No, this is not how it's supposed to end. I'm the fairest of them all. I'm the fairest.
Hush you. And there's only one thing to be done about that.
Take her away. She will live alone and be forgotten in exile. What are you doing? Get your hands off of me. I'm still your queen. Just wait and see. Just you wait and see. I'll get you, my pretty animal hunting man, too. You were great.
No, you were really great. Where'd you learn to cry like that?
Oh, you know, a little hunting man taught me.
It was true love! No one knows what happened to the evil queen. She was never heard from again.
And Snow White was crowned as queen the very next day.
And in a bit of poetic justice, the huntsman who was to be executed that day was given the honor of placing the crown upon the queen's head.
She went on to become the most fairest queen you ever done seen.
And the funniest. And not long after that, she and the huntsman were wed. Oh my goodness, look at how romantic. Oh, I just love a good wedding.